How Kendrick Lamar just solidified the end of Drake's career. Reaction. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. On the road to 5K, it's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Let's go ahead and get into
Now, when it
this.
comes to this last week or so that we have all witnessed in hip hop, what we have all seen is going to be remembered down the road as one of the most important times in all of recent hip hop history, because with everything that went down from the release of Kendrick Lamar's new album GNX to the crash out from Drake, which resulted in multiple lawsuits aimed at Kendrick's track Not Like Us. What we really just saw in this time was round two between Drake and Kendrick in a way, because despite Kendrick moving forward from the beef and pushing the needle of his musical journey onward, and Drake trying to revise the history of what went down this summer between him and Kendrick by trying to tear down the success of arguably the greatest diss track ever released in the history of hip hop already in Not Like Us, in the most pathetic and really anti-hip hop way possible by filing multiple lawsuits. No matter the completely different actions these two were dominating headlines for this week, on both sides, what Kendrick and Drake did just stood on the exact same morals and ideas that define their stances and motives that they had when they were actually dropping diss tracks aimed at one another. And now, as Kendrick released an album that, despite being marginally shorter in terms of its track list than all of the most other streamed rap albums in their first week previously, it put up insane numbers despite not relying on the tricks that others like Drake used to exploit streaming algorithms year after year. And now, as GNX is an album that people are just listening to organically, and because of this, it is making a genuine and real impact with actual people and not machines and algorithms. It is now about to have the biggest sales debut of a rap album in 2024 with over 300,000 copies sold in its first week. And just really proving how this album
is crazy, because there was people that was just like, he can't win rapper, of the year without dropping a project. And at the end of the year, he's doing better than any of the projects that came out in 2024. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Dominating the entire music world without any gimmicks. The record is about to have 8 of its 12 songs debut within the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, which, if we want to talk about records, this may be even more impressive than its first week's sales, because it is showing just how much dominance Kendrick Lamar is commanding, not over just rap, but the entire music industry. And so with all of the success that GNX has already seen, what's been made clear is that the people have chosen Kendrick Lamar as the undisputed and unquestioned leader of hip-hop going forward from this moment on. And as we know, Kendrick Lamar still has another and seemingly way more ambitious album on the way. And also knowing that other people who are around him and his camp have seemingly alluded to the fact that Kendrick Lamar has the next 4 years of his career planned out with new music releases and moments that are going to shift the very fabric and DNA of hip-hop culture forward and the perception of the genre as we know it. What's very clear right now is that as Kendrick Lamar has become arguably one of the biggest superstars, not just in rap, but all of music and entertainment right now. And at the same time, as Drake is now suing the label that they are both signed to, it is really humiliating his own name by trying to revise what happened in their beef. And in the grand picture, just because of how pathetic filing litigation over rap beef is. Drake's image has just been taken down, even for his standards in this era where he is already at rock bottom, to an even further all-time low, as he has shown that he is not just more delusional and bitter than ever, but that he does not respect the very fundamental nature of rap beef and competition,
which is a lot of people's criticism. It's a lot of people's criticism, because you have to take into consideration that someone who was spotted, at different rap battles and say that they have a love for it and different things like that, you would think that he never did. He's not standing on. That's why the way that Kendrick came at Drake was so below the surface. Like, it cut so deep for Drake, because he kept on pounding that in. Morals, character, respect, the culture, all things that are undeniable. And Drake's own moves. This isn't stuff that just, people are making up out of thin air. This is stuff he's either said out his own mouth with the XQC interview. This is stuff that he tweets, all these little sneak disses, everything like that. or puts on his Instagram stories. All of these particular things all points to a character flaw within Drake. You have people who are close to him that are just all like, yeah, the way he moves is very F-boyish, or just weird in general. It's just it's one of those things that this is who Drake is, or who he's decided to, what character he's decided to cosplay as, and it's just weird
Extension
to
shows his
see
lack
it.
of care for hip hop as a whole. And now, with all of this, what's more clear than ever is that the shift in hip hop is complete, and everything Kendrick Lamar set out to achieve when he came at Drake unlike that he has done. And now, before we go any further, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton. And so now what Kendrick Lamar has done is he is now seeing all-time high levels of success, is really complete his most important artistic mission ever, because in the matter of less than
That's
a
a
year,
really cool
Kendrick Lamar
diss.
flipped the current state of rap on its head by not just beating Drake in their beef, and then showing to everyone that Drake is a liability to hip-hop in terms of as an art form and a culture, but also and most importantly when it comes to flipping the industry on his head like he has rapped about multiple times. In terms of how rap as a business can be used for labels, and so with where we are at now, with the release of GNX and the dominance of Kendrick Lamar alongside this spiral from Drake, what we can start to see is that with this beef and with the career-altering way Drake has now tried to change the outcome of what went down by coming at their label and Kendrick Lamar's diss track, is that while Drake and Kendrick Lamar were going back and forth for all of us to watch, one of the stakes of this battle that we never even realized was happening right before our own eyes was a battle within the music industry on how the hip-hop market will move forward from this moment on. And I want to be clear before I go any further into this. While there is this narrative that Drake stans are trying to push that Kendrick Lamar is the real puppet of the industry and that Drake is the victim, this is not the case at all, because just like every other artist, to be a superstar,
Wow.
you have to play the game that is the industry to some level. And in order to actually make real change, instead of running away from something, you have to get inside the machine to rewire it. And with Kendrick Lamar right now, this is exactly what he is doing. As after defeating Drake and showing how after an era of declining numbers in sales, because nothing had any staying power due to the nature of the culture in the hip-hop side of the industry that Drake created and used to gain the status he once held, Kendrick proved that rap wasn't the problem, but it was the artist controlling the genre who was causing it to decline, because when it comes to the actual business of rap music, going wider than the scope of the quality of the art, Kendrick Lamar has now shown executives just how lucrative making genuinely thoughtful and well-crafted rap music can be.
That's
because
true.
from Not Like Us, which has been arguably the biggest
That
song the
still
entire
is
industry
so
has seen all year,
freaking funny, man. That still is so freaking hilarious, man. The single cover to Not Like Us is so funny. To sit up there and have the PDF freaking tags on his house. Sometimes just looking back at it and seeing things, I remember the day. It was just all like, and just seeing all the reactions, my own reactions, the breakdowns and everything like that. It's crazy that this even happened this year. And what's interesting is how these shakeups are happening in all parts of art, culture, politics. There's this crazy shift happening, and boxing. Like, there's a lot of verses in 2024 that I've been paying attention to. And these are like world shattering, or I would say world, the whole world's looking at type of events. Whether it was Trump versus Kamala, whether it was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, whether it was Kendrick versus Drake, a lot of stuff that's going on with AI. What else? I mean, dang, it's been crazy, and starting it off, with the Cat Williams kind of just doing this stuff. It's been wild. It's been wild, and we're seeing how stuff plays out. And honestly, this is just the beginning. The whole P. Diddy thing, like, It's weird. I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but there's been a lot of verses that have been going on that have been it's going to cause some shifts for sure. For sure.
To now this GNX album, which even after a week of being released, is clocking in more daily streams than almost any other rap album has in years. Because the record is
Dang.
actually giving people reasons to come back to it and re-listen, as opposed to the quick consumption culture that dominated the
Mustang.
Drake era, which made people listen to an album once, re-listen to 2 songs that blew up on social media, and then forget about the rest of the whole project, which was just so disposable. Between this
Yeah.
shift that we are seeing Kendrick Lamar pull off right before us, and then also with him taking hip-hop to new heights with such things as the Super Bowl halftime show, which of course for an artist is really the pinnacle of where your stardom can take you. All of the sudden, what's becoming clear is that amidst all the chaos and drama that is unfolding in this moment in time, that most importantly to the future of how we consume rap music, what has happened in this entire year is that the industry let Kendrick and Drake, who they both have financial interest in, go at it. And despite how much money they have sunk into Drake over the years and how much he and his label have corrupted and diluted the industry in the past, Kendrick Lamar both outperforming him in terms of public perception, but for them in terms of sales and chart success. He really now has pulled off the ultimate chess move on Drake by now taking control of the last thing that could have saved his whole career, because while Kendrick had the will of the people behind him this whole time, now he has gotten even stronger, as he also has the executives and companies seemingly let him control the tempo of the hip-hop market in whichever way he desires. And being able to do this with the integrity Kendrick has is just absolutely unprecedented and insane. And really,
Hey, before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Catalog. Yeah. These are not singles, these are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Team Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just check it out because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyways, exactly, and that's what has been a big point of the music industry of its decline is the lack of integrity in the music and the people who are making the music and the people who are distributing the music and the people who are reviewing the music, the people who it's crazy, and I'm gonna leave the full video here so y'all could check that out. But yeah, this has been quite the career assassination attempt, that's been going on. And it's been interesting to see with this new development. It's just all like, it's not even a development. I really don't think that those lawsuits are really going to go anywhere. And honestly, the way that I saw it is that this could be a purpose, a self-destructive move on Drake's end on purpose, because as whether it was this video or another video, Drake's contract is in renegotiation stages, basically. And if Drake wanted to, he could go the independent route, you know, and or go to a label who will put him above all other artists on the label, which there might be some labels that do that, but maybe not. Maybe this is where the switch is going. And the thing is, I wouldn't even look at it as in, oh, the music industry is going towards integrity out of having integrity. It would be like, okay, the music is going the money's going that way. So, let's put on this, front that, we have integrity when it's all about the money. It's just very interesting. I'm curious to know what y'all think about everything. The comment section's open. And I think I might do something different. I seen this with another creator, but with other type of things. Go ahead and leave particular comments as far as in thoughts and or questions that you would like me answered in a video format. And I will make a video that kind of compiles those comments together. Maybe there might be a a unified theme as far as thoughts and comments, and I'll make a video in regards to that. I think that the creator that did it, he did it off of like super chats and donations, but hey, y'all don't have to do that. Y'all just drop a comment, because I'm just trying to get more of what y'all would like to see talked about that maybe you don't see people talking about. So yeah, do that for me. That'll be amazing. Yeah. But hey, it's Miss Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another reaction. Make sure to leave, like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video. On the road to 5K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.